to Parliament to consider on the issue of the report by NGCDF, the audit report as per our standing orders. Honorable Speaker, I have stated at the floor of this House that I am a product of NGCDF. The Madam Speaker, when I cleared my class 8 at Mutembei Primary School in Mukinyai and got admitted to join a national school, my grandfather who brought me up could not afford to pay school fees for me for the school that I was admitted to go. And as a result, Madam Speaker, I found myself at Kieni Secondary School, a mixed-day secondary school at Kirengero, Subukia in Subukia constituency. Madam Speaker, even with that admission to a district day mixed secondary school, we couldn't still afford the school fees for that school. My villagers had to do a fundraise, and I remember one social, we call her Social Virginia, who really contributed her everything because she didn't have a child of her own to take me to school. Honorable Speaker, it was a then Member of Parliament, the Honorable Mukiri Masharia, through his staff, his member of staff, one Mr. Karanja Wageshe from Witima, who approached my grandfather and told him that we could actually apply for bursary funds for me to go through secondary education. Honorable Speaker, that's how I went through secondary school from the year 2002 to 2005. To be one of the first people in my secondary school to qualify to be admitted to public university by just missing a main grade of an A, in my case I see by 1 point, despite going through a district mixed day secondary school. So every time I see this discussion about NGCDF, for me it's personal. Every time I think about the millions of students in this country who would like to be in a boarding school, who would like to be in a school that has a name that is of repute in this country, perhaps like Precious Blood Ruto, or Alliance Boys, or Alliance Girls, or closer home to Molo Academy, to Marymount, to all those big name schools, but cannot afford to get there. Because even affording transport to go to those schools would be a nightmare. I really identify with those students. Honorable Speaker, when I took my candidature to the people of Molo to be the Member of Parliament in 2017, I made a commitment. In fact, for my re-election bids in 2022, which was based on my performance, because the people of Molo have never re-elected anyone for the last 30 years until yours truly became the first person for the last 30 years to be re-elected to the position of Member of Parliament for Molo constituency. I told them, why did you elect me? And of course, Honorable Speaker, our polling stations are either our primary schools or our secondary schools. And I told my people, if you go to where you voted for me, whether it's that primary school or whether it's that secondary school, and you find it the same way it was when you voted for me in 2017, do not vote for me again. And they did vote for me because all the polling stations, everywhere where people went to vote in the last election, in my constituency, there was a difference. We had either renovated the school, we had the first permanent building in that school, and if it was a day secondary school, I told them that by my 5 years tenure, I'll make sure that we have 100% equipped and complete science laboratories in all the day secondary schools in my constituency. Honorable Speaker, I'm saying again here that I was re-elected on that merit. So when the issues of NGCDF come to this house, and the reports that we are hearing today, where some have mismanaged the funds sent to their constituencies, and some are being well uploaded on the equalization that has been done in our education system. Because, Honorable Speaker, the availability of infrastructure in our schools, the availability of a fund where people that cannot be able to pay school fees have a recourse to go to through bursaries. When we can do scholarships for the very families in this country and make sure that they go to school, then that it becomes an equalizer in our society. Honorable Speaker, nobody wants to be poor. Nobody wants to be born poor. And certainly, nobody wants to die poor. On the being born poor is not a choice of anyone in the republic of this country. If you all be asked, we will be born in privileged families where we could have everything that we would want. But that is not the reality. So the only way we could bridge that gap between those born in privileged families and those born in absolute poverty, in underprivileged families, in families of need, if we make sure that our public education system gets to work. Honorable Speaker, in my normal line of interaction, I meet some people who tell me they went to school in Molo. And my imagination, I always think, so why did you go to school in Molo? And someone will tell me I went to Molo Academy, I went to Marymount, like my wife did, I went to Albagon Secondary School. Those people, especially, that are doing well in their careers. But one of the instances, I met somebody who told me I went to Turi. Honorable Speaker, Turi is one of the wards, one of the rural wards in my constituency, because my turn wards will be Albagon and Molo. So I was very curious to find out, which school did you go to Turi? Only for him to tell me, okay, I actually went to St. Andrews. In my imagination, Honorable Speaker, I do not count St. Andrews, Turi, as one of the schools in my constituency. Until someone did tell me that they actually went to Turi, and when I thought they probably went to Turi Secondary School, or to St. Bridan Secondary School, or to Mianzini, they actually told me that they went to St. Andrews. It took me a further surprise during one of the travels facilitated by this parliament, when waiting at an airport in Paris, I got to meet a former cabinet secretary for finance in Nigeria. And when I told him what I do, he said, "You remember Parliament in Kenya?" "I know Kenya. I'm MP for Molo." "Oh, my kids go to school there." Then I said, "Oh." And he tells me all her children have gone to St. Andrews Turi school. And that's when I realized, actually, that St. Andrews Turi is such a respectable school across the region, and where many respectable people across the globe want to take their children to. And that was, Honorable Speaker, in 2018. And I asked myself, how can I make sure that the schools in Molo constituency can have such a repute as St. Andrews Turi? We are not there yet. But, Honorable Speaker, 99% now of my schools in Molo constituency have a complete and equipped science laboratory, courtesy of NGCDF. Honorable Speaker, in light of the digitalization of our economy, in this 5 years term that we just started in August, I have made a commitment with my people that will make sure that every secondary school will have an equipped and complete ICT laboratory. And because of the new system of junior secondary schools, I also make sure even our junior secondary schools actually have a science laboratory, so that education can become an equalizer.
Thank you. The Honorable Professor Phyllis Bartow, member for Moiben. No, she's not here. Her card is okay. The Honorable John Gitonga, member for Manyata. Okay, the Honorable Mugambi.